Hey guys, so this is Sai with Master None. Today we are going to be playing some Endless Legend. This is probably one of my favorite games right now. I've gotten very hooked on this. It's 4X strategy. It's in that kind of Civ clone, dare I say that too loud category. But I really enjoy 4X. I think they're really good strategy games. They make you think, they make you work a lot. This one, probably far more so. This is probably the trickiest that I've played. But it's such a good game. There's some really cool lore, there's some great stories, there's some really cool factions. I don't have all of the content. I don't have the most recent expansion shifters. I will get that in due course, but I'm still pretty new to this. I'm still figuring it out. I picked up the rest of the DLC recently because it was in Steam sale, and yeah, I've played 3 games, of which I've lost 2. So you know that's kind of hard work. So you'll forgive me still playing on new difficulty. But we're gonna dive straight in. We're gonna play as the Mizari, who I guess are probably a beginners faction. They're pretty straightforward. There's a few factions here, but from what I understand from reading a lot on the Endless Legend subreddit, the Mizari, who are just a reskinned version of the Volters, are pretty straightforward. The Wild Walkers, I'm told, are pretty straightforward. And the Draken, I understand that they're fairly straightforward, and they're also quite OP from what I've read. All of these others, from my limited understanding in this game, there are strategies and specific things that you have to do. It's a much different game when you're playing as them. So we will get to those in due course, but right now I want to dive on in. We're going to go straight in as the Mizari. Obviously we're going to be green because that's just the best colour. I'm not going to fidget around with any of these other settings. We're just going to dive straight in, start the game and see how we get on. I have learned a few things in the 3 games I've played so far, of which I guess the most important above all else is really to keep up on the military science. Just all of the researchers that affect the military, I got smacked down so hard on my first game, and this was still when it was on newbie, because I just completely neglected to do any of the military researches, or not any of them, but I just didn't do enough of them. I didn't focus or really read or pay too much attention to what was going on with the unit upgrades. I ignored a lot of the military sciences around the increased XP per turn, because again, much like Civ, units have XP in this. They
Our
get that
legend spoke of a
regardless.
great journey beneath the
I'm gonna
stars.
skip this because I'm sure anyone that's played this has already seen this, and I want to just get straight in. Okay, so we're gonna set up. We've got a minor faction. Think of these as barbarians if we're comparing this to Civ. Silics are actually really strong. It's not the type of ones that I'd necessarily want in my starting region, but hey, you get what you get. So again, it's very Civ-like. You know, there's a grid which I've got turned off at the moment. We've got settlers, we've got military units. We're going to found a city. The unit icons very similar. Again, we've got food production, science, and gold. Gold is actually called dust in this game. Dust being the chosen currency of the game world, but it works pretty much the same as gold. And then we have another resource up here, this little star here, which is influence, which is, it's kind of a currency that, well, it's a lot like culture actually. Continuing the Civ correlations, in Civ you unlock culture and you use that to spend on policies and custom policies. Influence is very similar to that. It's sort of like a governmental currency that you use to research and improve your city or your whole empire with what's called an empire plan, which you do every 10 turns. You use influence to put points in that, which gives you bonuses, and then it resets every 10 turns. So we're going to get on with our city. I'm quite liking this because I think just looking at the tiles, we have a lot of production over here, probably as much as we're going to get without exploring, which I'm conscious I don't want to do too much too quickly because I'm just really worried about what these guys might be doing. So straight away, as you can see, we have access to all these tiles. You get a building straight off the bat called your Founders Memorial, which just improves everything. It's a real no-brainer to build first. And I believe this is a perk to the Mazzari that I get this tech already. I think I might be wrong on that, but the Mazzari's thing is science, so I'm gonna build that straight away as well. And then an Emerald Extractor. Emerald is a luxury resource which gives us happiness and all that good stuff, and I'll explain luxuries in more depth as and when I get to them. But right now we're going to set that up here, and we're going to end our turn. That's our first go. It's not letting me do that straight away because it's saying, hey Sai, you haven't chosen a tech to research, and the game gives you, it's pretty forceful about not ending your turn until you've done all the things you probably should do, which as a first timer I'm pretty grateful for, or close to first timer still. So we're going to queue up some techs. We definitely want the Mill Foundry. We definitely want the Alchemist Furnace, which is going to give us some more extractors, which lets us get strategic resources. We definitely want the the cultivation to get more food, and we want this one as well, the military science, for our plus XP on our army. We want these straight away. There are some others as well, but for me these are the four I want first, and pretty much the games I've started, they are the ones I take first. So we're just going to end the turn there. We're going to close the research screen. It's going to tick over, and we get into the next turn and get given our faction quest. So one of the ways to win the game, there are many in this, but the different one, I suppose, from a lot of the other 4X games is the faction quest. It's as it sounds, it's a quest unique to your faction. You complete it, you win the game. So we're going to get that sort of ticking over straight away. It's telling us to assimilate a minor faction. So that would be killing these guys, which is going to be no mean feat right at the start of the game, and assimilating them into our empire, which means we actually get to build them as units, which is really, really cool because they are a very strong unit. You get ruins, again, much like in Civ. You search them, you get bonuses. The similarities really are endless. There's a lot going on in this game. Anyone that enjoys Civ is going to like this, and I would anticipate fully that over the course of this series and these episodes, I will be making a lot of correlations to Civ because I've played so much Civ that it's kind of hard for me to ignore. So we're going to keep exploring with our guy, our Marines. They're going to go and search this ruin, which we'll do next turn, and then we'll start getting a lay of the land. We'll start considering where we're going to go, what we're going to do from here, and just seeing pretty much what the land looks like and just how we're going to get set up and going. So we're going to search this ruin and 10 dye. So dye is another luxury resource. Luxuries in this game, similar to Civ, provide happiness to your city when you incorporate a luxury tile into a city. But also, differently to a lot of the other games, you cash them in for resource boosters, which use a certain amount, I think it varies per resource, of that luxury, and in exchange for that you get a bonus. It could be more science, it could be more food, but that will go on for so many turns. It's usually like, I don't think it's very many, I think it's between maybe 5 and 10, and then you get an option to, if you have the correct quantity of resources, you get the option to restart that booster if you can. Another thing in this game is heroes, so straight away we get hero XP. So our hero is with our army at the moment, so I'm going to add a skill onto my hero, and this is a real cool real cool thing about this game. I love um, the upgrade system is so, in contrast to sort of a lot of other games, it's really deep, and it's a real cool part of this game. So we're going to add that one, and we're going to keep exploring more minor factions. This one's a cavalry unit. You can assimilate, over the course of the game, you can assimilate up to 3. You need to use text to add extra ones in, but it's 3 in total by the dying stage of the game. You should have 3, and it's just a case at that point of, you know, what ones am I going for. There's definitely some that stick out above the rest, like the ice wargs are pretty good. They all have an assimilation perk, as you can see here, and they each have a different unit type. I don't know enough about this game to offer solid advice on which ones to take in terms of mixing it up on the unit types, but I certainly know that things like the Kazanji, who look like demons, and the Silics and the Ice Wargs, they're all pretty powerful in their own right. So if you can get those 3, then you should be okay. You should be pretty fine. So let's keep exploring. We'll set our hero and our army to go over there. We're going to end the turn. And it's going to go. There we go. So we've finished our research, which is cool. And it says construction complete. So the second I try and hit enter now, the game's going to tell me off. It's going, well, hey, you need to build some stuff in your city. That's going to happen a lot. So we're going to get straight up with the mill foundry, which we researched, the seed storage, which we researched, and the stronghold. So these will give us the production, food, and military bonuses that we wanted from the off. We can now build a glass steel extractor, which is a strategic resource, so we're going to do that as well. And we will get our first Borough Street upgrade queued. So this will let me add additional tiles onto my city, and gives me the resources as shown in the total output box here. So it's going to be one of these two, I think, but looking at this, it's pretty obviously going to be this one. So 14 food, 4 production, 8 science, 1 dust, and 20 happiness. That's a pretty good tile, so kind of a no-brainer to put that one on there. And then for research, now that we've done the ones we wanted to do, first and foremost, we're going to add on a couple of others. We're going to add the mercenary market on because I like the mercenary market. It lets me buy heroes later on in the game, so we may as well get that one done. We are going to research language square because that gives me the option to parlay and negotiate with the minor factions, which saves me having to go to war with them straight away if I don't want to. We're going to research sewer system for a happiness boost because, you know, everybody likes the sewer system. Nobody likes just throwing their waste out in the streets because, you know, it's a bit medieval. And finally, we are going to research the Empire Mint, which gives us the gold boost. So we'll leave those ticking over. I try not to do too many attacks at a time, because once you have done so many of an era, you upgrade to the next one, at which point you kind of do want to be straight in there with the new era attacks because they are markedly better than the ones you have. So as tempting as it is to just stick 10 tier 1 techs to research, I'm going to go up before then, and yeah, I want to make sure that the second I get great Kazanji. So these are one I would definitely assimilate. These units are incredible. They're very powerful. They're flying units. They're a nightmare to fight early on. They're really, really strong. But they give a nice influence boost, which is really cool, especially down the line, late game. And yeah, the units are so powerful that yeah, they're always someone that I look to assimilate. If I can't get them first, then definitely second. Another tech completed, and this is the great thing about the Mazzari, they're so good with their science and research. We're going to get me some gold, some dust even, that's cool. We'll go and have a look in this one over here. And haunts. Haunts are undead ghost flying units, they're kind of cool. I've not actually assimilated them yet. And we are in our first empire plan. So this is what I was saying about earlier on with the influence. So you get these, it's real straightforward. You drag that up, you get the bonus. You drag that way, you get that bonus. It's real easy. Your influence points are down here, so we have 17. So given that it's 10 to unlock any one of these, we're only going to be able to do this once. Right now, I want to probably get the most out of my perk as the Mizari, so I'm just going to keep the science coming in. This will only last 10 turns anyway, so hopefully by the time the next turn ticks around I might have a little bit more influence to play with and maybe unlock some more perks. So we're going to go for the 20% science boost, and yeah, we will keep exploring in the interim and keep going on. So I think with this video I'm going to take this to turn 20 and stop there, because I'm kind of conscious that this one is, oh hey, AI. So they're the Volters, so they're basically me but reskinned, so that's fine. Hi stranger, we hope that our dealings will be brief and peaceful. Well, I hope so too, because I've had my ass kicked a few times on this game by newbie difficulty AIs, so I'm pretty sure I'm not just going to be charging on in there until much later on, presuming we get to much later on. So we've searched this, and it's given us a quest, so this is something else that happens in Ruins. Every now and again you'll get a quest. So in winter only I need to come back to... Actually no, it's not. So search the indicated temple ruins with 5 red saying. And you'll excuse the yawn there. So let's have a look. So it's okay, so it's this temple. So come winter I need to go here with 5 red saying in my inventory, so that's fine. So yeah, so we'll go and have a search and clear that out now. And then we'll come grab that later on when we've got some red saying. So we'll end that turn. Another tech. Another construction. Let's go search this ruin. Oh, okay, so there's no other items in there that I can take right now until I actually do the quest, that's fine. So let's send this over here, just so I can skip through a couple of turns. Strongholds, now we'll do our glass steel extractor next. Off she goes. There we go, new research era. Great. So we've researched, enough tier 1 techs. So that's pretty damn cool. So, glimpse of a new era. So these, I understand, are the like competitive goals. So you're competing against the AI here, and you have one building that can be built, and they're not massively expensive, but you'll notice that they require strategic resources. So generally, to build these, it's kind of a case of who can get them on board and online the quickest. Master of Markets is you just need a trade route set up, and then Warrior is generally killing other armies. So they're all sort of, there's a military and an economic and a construction goal, if you like. So let's keep plodding along over here. I haven't found too many roaming armies yet, which is kind of nice. So, unused resource boosters. Okay, so I now have enough to actually use these. Oh wow, so these are actually quite a bit cheaper than I thought, so that's kind of cool. So for 10 die, I get plus 50% influence and 5 happiness on my city. That seems perfectly reasonable, and plus 30% fortification and 5 happiness for 10 emeralds. It's not really a bonus that I'm going to benefit from greatly right this second, so I'm actually not going to do this one. I don't really see too much point. I have one city, it's got luxuries, it's happy. 16, I'm not really expecting anyone to turn up and siege my only city either, so I'm going to let this one take over. And we've met Minotaurs, the Garan. Cool. Let's keep looking for temples and ruins and all that good stuff. There we go, we found another one, so we're going to go and search that one. And it's time to put some more stuff in our city queue. So let's add a sewer system to put our city up to 100% happiness. And we're going to add a husbandry centre to give us more food and lower upkeep. We're going to add an infantry cantina, which is going to let us have extra militia units, and then we will set it to do another Borough Street unit, Borough Street upgrade, sorry, to get the most out of some resource. So 522, 321, 522, 654. Doubt we are going to do better than that. No, so there we go. The FIDSI system, as it's called, which is food, industry, science, dust, and influence. That's the resources. So these are up here. So FIDSI. They just make things really easy with the tiles. Just makes it real easy to follow and keep up with what resources are where and what you're going to get on what tile. So the team mechanic in this game is handled, I think, really nicely, really nicely, because it's foolproof, which, to be honest, someone like me needs sometimes. Okay, so it's time for some more science researches as well. Sure, what do we want? We need some extractors. Are there new extractors in this era? I don't know. Doesn't look like there are. Roads. We like roads. Roads are good. Deep generator. And a native district, which gives me my assimilation slots. So, let's do that. Who doesn't like a road? And then I want these researches as well, because they will increase production, and production early on is good. And this one for our XP bonuses on our military. So we'll get them going, and we'll leave them for the time being. We're going to search in this ruin. 15 grass silk, that's another luxury, great. And then we will send him over here to have a look. And another ruin, that worked out well. Let's poke our noses in this one. 15 blood crystals, another luxury, very nice. End the turn. Winter has started, the dark season has begun. So winter is the dark season, as it says there in the text box for all to see. Yeah, winter just makes this game slow right down. It removes pretty much all your resources from your terrain. It removes vision, and it just hampers unit movement. It's kind of annoying, and by kind of I mean it's really annoying. So yeah, so that is what it is. We're just going to have to deal with it. You get an approximate turn count between now and summer, so it says in 2 to 12 turns it could be summer again, or it will be summer again. So pray for 2, but it's invariably not that easy. And here we are at turn 20, and we are getting tapped up again by the Volters. It is good to have peaceful relations. See that things stay that way. Sure. Why not? Let's go down here. And like I said, turn 20, I'm going to stop. I'm going to wrap that up for this episode here. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one, and hopefully I've not waffled on too much and made this too confusing, because I know that there is oh so much to describe and explain. But yeah, this is a great game. I'm going to be sticking this out. Certainly want to make another 4 or 5 episodes minimum, and if it's something that people are interested in following, I will continue to put these out and get them up on the channel. Any questions, pop them in the comments or on the Facebook page, which is Master of None Gaming. And yeah, we will see how we get on the next few turns. But yeah, until then, this has been Master of None. I have been Sai. Thank you very much.